Hi everyone, welcome to today's Hard Core Glutes workout. My name is Elizabeth. I'm the Health and Fitness Coordinator over at Bedford. And today we're gonna be getting a great workout in. We're gonna be targeting our glutes and our core, really targeting those supporting muscles. You don't really need any weights. I'm gonna be using dumbbells, but you can use dumbbells or no weights. With any of these exercises, you can take rests when you need it, decrease the range of motion. So if you're doing like a squat and if it gets a little hard, you can always squat down, just not as far. Or just rest when you need it, really. Just listen to your own body. So let's get started. We're gonna start with a warm-up, and then we're gonna go into 3 blocks of workouts with 3 exercises each, and 3 sets of each. And I'll have a timer and we'll be shouting out when to stop and when to start. We're gonna start with our warm up now. So first, just with some air squats. So you're gonna have your feet about, let me set my timer here, feet about hip width apart. One moment. Feet about hip width apart, and just start sinking that weight into your heels, sending the hips towards the back of the room. Nice slow and steady pace here. No need to be super speedy. And this is a good time to actually focus on our squat form, since we're going to be doing a lot of squats in today's workout. So starting at your feet, you want your feet about hip distance apart, toes pointing out just a little bit. And then you want to be sinking your weight back like this, hips back to the room, as opposed to weight coming forward. You want back like that. So you want to keep your knees tracking away from your toes. Okay. You also want to keep your chest nice and proud. So instead of, leaning over too far here, keep that chest nice and upright. All right. Moving on to some knee hugs. You grab one of your knees, hug it into your chest, and then just alternate. Hugging, alternating knees into your chest, stretching out your legs, and also getting a little bit of a core warm up here, engaging those abs. Boop. If you lose your balance like me, that's okay. All right, now we're going to switch to what is called a good morning. So you're going to hinge at the hips here. So just imagine that your hips are literally like a door hinge, okay? So the movement that's happening here is only happening at your hips. Okay, so you can have a very slight bend in your knee, raise your arms overhead, and then just hinge at the hips there. You'll start to feel your hamstrings and your glute engage as you hinge down. Once you feel that good deep stretch, you can stand up and squeeze the glutes to the top just a little bit, activating the posterior chain, back the legs, and the glutes. And this is also great practice for your deadlift form. We're going to be doing some dumbbell deadlifts in today's workout. And even if you don't want to use dumbbells, you can just do body weight like this. Perfect. All right, we're now going to do some external hip rotations. So take that left leg, bring the knee up, and then out. Up, and then out. Driving your weight down into your right foot, staying nice and steady. And now we're going to reverse direction. That's the word. Oh, my words, they're just not coming out. Reverse direction. And now just switch legs. So right leg, external rotation, rotating out away from the body, and then back down. And then just switch directions. Remember the word for direction this time, guys. We're making progress. All right, next up, we're gonna do some side bends. So arms overhead, and then just bend to the side here. And then standing straight, bend over to the other side. So you wanna stay nice and upright. See my posture here? I'm not going too forward or doing a back bend here. I'm just standing upright and then just bending my torso to either side. Getting that nice oblique stretch / warm up there. Getting ready for these ab workouts. All right, and our last warm up exercise is just going to be a modified jumping jack. So you're going to step one foot out as you raise your arms overhead, step the other foot out, raise arms overhead. So it's just like you're doing a jumping jack, but without the jumping. If you want to do a full jumping jack, do it up. Feel free to challenge yourself if that is what you're feeling today. Again, just listen to your body. Perfect. All right, great warm up, folks. So we're going to go into our first block of exercises. So there's 3 exercises. I'm going to demonstrate them for you now. So then once we're in the circuit, we don't have to stop and re-demonstrate, okay? So the first exercise is going to be a goblet squat. So you're going to take a dumbbell if you'd like, or you can do it without weight. You're going to hold the top of the dumbbell between your hands like this. And then you're going to put your feet more than hip width apart. So I'd say if you go hip distance apart and then do like a half a step in each direction outwards, and then point those toes just a little bit out, and then squat down and up. All right. Oop. So that is how you do the goblet squat, okay? And again, you can see my form here. We're keeping that chest upright. We're not bending forward here. We're not having the toes track forward, keeping that weight backwards. Okay, so that's how you do the goblet squat. Second exercise in this block is going to be an extended leg bicycle. So this is working that core. So you're going to meet your elbow to your opposite knee, just like this, alternating knees and elbows. Keep that chin tucked into your chest and just keep alternating like that. So that's that second exercise. And then our last exercise in this block is a dumbbell deadlift. Okay, so again, you technically don't need to use weight for this. If you want to just do those good mornings we did from our warm up, but if you have your dumbbells, what you're going to do is you're going to stand. Actually, I have a good tip for you for how to get into a proper deadlift stance. So you're going to stand with your feet totally together and then kind of duck walk your feet out with your heels still touching, and then straighten those feet out. There you go. You're in a good distance for a deadlift. So then you're going to hold your dumbbells, roll your shoulders back, keep your shoulders back, hinge at the hips, slight bend in those knees, very slight, and then just hinge down until you feel that your hamstrings and glutes are really engaging. And then you're going to stand up and squeeze those glutes at the top. Okay, so I don't want you pushing too far down here, like trying to reach the floor and getting a curve in your spine. You want to keep that spine nice and neutral, and just the only movement that should be happening is the hinging of the hips. So again, slight bend in the knees and then hinging down, okay? And then stand back up. Perfect. All right, let's get started with this first circuit. I'm going to set a interval timer, and then we can get going. All right, first up, goblet squats. Take that weight between your hands here and squat down. So again, feet are a little bit more than hip width apart, toes pointing slightly out, just slightly. Nothing too crazy. And just squatting down as deep as is comfortable for you. And then standing back up. So for these intervals, we're doing 50 seconds of work and 15 seconds of rest. And then we're gonna just hop into that next exercise, and we'll do 3 sets of each all together. Then we'll have about a minute rest before our next circuit, where I will then demonstrate how to do the next circuit's exercises. All right, so you can rest, made it through your first exercise of the circuit, great job. And next up, we're going to have those alternating extended leg bicycle crunches. All right, get down on the mat and reach that knee to the opposite elbow. Really feel that core engage as the elbow meets the knee. Make sure you're keeping your neck in a pretty neutral position, so you're not straining your neck muscles, your vertebrae. Great job, guys. Keep it moving. 5 more seconds. 3, 2, 1. All right. 15 seconds of rest, and then we're going into that deadlift. Pick up those weights. Get into your stance. So duck walk those feet out with your heels touching, and then straighten those feet out. So your feet should be a little bit less than hip distance apart. And then roll those shoulders back nice and straight, and then hinge at the hips. You can have a slight bend in the knee, so you don't want your legs stick straight. Okay, so bringing the weight down just until you feel those hamstrings in your glute muscles engage. Don't push it too far where you start to feel pain. And then once you feel that real active stretch happening, you can come back up, stand, and squeeze your glutes at the top. All right, 1 second left, good to go. All right, 15 seconds of rest. We're back at the beginning of that circuit with goblet squats. So get your dumbbell and go into those goblet squats right now. All right. Again, for a goblet squat, today we don't want our feet like quite as close as hip width apart, like a regular squat. We want a little bit more distance there. Allows us to squat down just a little bit lower if we have that range of motion available to us. Move over here so you can see this view. And remember, you can always drop the weight if things are starting to feel a little intense. All right, you can drop that weight. And we're going into those crunches. Back down on the mat. Opposite elbow to opposite knee. Those legs are straight, toes pointing to the sky. You know, I think I might have just skipped our last rest. So if you just followed me right along, feel free to rest for about 10 seconds here, or just power through with me. Totally up to you. Breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. Not holding the breath. Breath gives us the energy we need for these workouts. All right, rest. And I won't skip this rest. Sorry about that, folks. So we're going to be going back into those deadlifts. So you can grab those weights, get back into that deadlift stance, a little closer than hip. Yeah, I can't say that. It's like a tongue twister. Hip distance apart. Okay, shoulders back, and then just reaching down, hinging at the hips. Slight bend in the knee. Nice and slow, controlled movement here. This is a great exercise for activating the glutes, but it's also an exercise that is a little bit prone to injury if you're not following proper form. So please pay attention to your form and also pay attention to how your body feels. If you start getting some pangs in there, then just stop and rest and move on to the next exercise. All right, we're on to our last set of each exercise in the circuit. And then we're gonna rest. Well, you'll rest while I'll go through the exercises in the next circuit. Okay, grab your dumbbell. We're going into this last goblet squat of today's workout. Doing great, guys. Hope everyone is having a lovely Tuesday. It's beautiful weather where I'm at. Hope it is for you too. Had a very rainy day yesterday, so it was great to see the sunshine when I woke up this morning. Remember to keep breathing deeply, not holding that breath. Keep that chest nice and proud. And rest. All right. Whew. I'm human. I sweat and get out of breath in my workouts, just like anyone else. So apologies if I sound a little out of breath. Okay, going into those bicycle crunches with the legs extended. It's our second to last exercise in this circuit. This exercise not only works the rectus abdominis, which is that main kind of six-pack ab situation, muscle group that you get going on. It also works the transverse abdominals and the obliques, really hitting everything all at once. All right, can rest. Then we're gonna go into that last deadlift of today's workout. All right, posture check, stance check, hinge the hips, slight bend in the knees, neutral neck, flat back, and you're bending down, slowly standing up, slight squeeze of the glutes at the top. Excellent job, you guys. And again, really the only movement that should be happening here is at the hip. Okay, so don't be, forcing your arms to try to meet the ground. Don't curve the back. Keep everything straight, except for your knees, a little slight bend in the knee. And then hinge forward. All right. Amazing work, everyone. Let me pause this. So next up, we have 3 exercises. Oop. Sorry, bear with me. Okay, we've got 3 more exercises in this next group. Oh, I'm having some issues with this timer here. There we go. And then we have 1 more group after that, okay? So exercises in this group are alternating lunge crunches. So what you're gonna do is standing up, these are standing crunches. You're going to start with one leg back, kind of like in a lunge stance, all right? You're gonna have arms, hands by your head here, excuse me, and then crunch that leg in. Actually, crunch it to the opposite elbow. Crunch your knee to the opposite elbow. All right, and then step back into that lunge. You can keep that back foot on your toes there. You don't have to, put all the weight back on your foot as you go back. You can keep it on the toes as you step back. All right, so we're gonna do 25 seconds on one side, then 25 seconds on the other. So that's exercise number one. Exercise number two is alternating reverse lunges, okay? So standing up, what you're gonna do is you're gonna lunge one leg back, okay? Come back up, and then lunge the other leg back, come back up. And we're gonna just alternate like that for the full amount of time. So with lunges, reverse lunges, you wanna make sure, again, that you're keeping your back upright, that chest proud, you're not hinging forward over the knee like that. And you're gonna have a range of motion that suits your body best, okay? So I'm able to come down here to like a 90-degree angle with this knee, but that might be uncomfortable for you. You might only be able to go right here. And that's completely fine. It's still a great workout. You're engaging those muscles. So if that is what feels more comfortable, then just lunge a little bit like that, okay? Please listen to your body. All right, last exercise in this block is alternating squat crunches, okay? So no weight for this, hip distance apart with your feet, toes ever so slightly turned out, and then you're gonna put your arms by, your hands by your ears here. Squat down, up, opposite elbow to opposite knee, squat down, and then the other elbow to knee. Okay, so just alternating like this all the way through. All right. Whew. So we will get started right now. First with the alternating lunge crunches. Okay, so start with that right foot back. Ooh, let me go here, and then crunch. So that right knee is meeting your left elbow. This might be a little bit of a tricky one for your balance. So feel free to keep it pretty slow and controlled. No need to, speed through here. Posture check here. Chest is proud. Neck is neutral. Maybe, just having your chin tucked a tiny bit. You're looking just above your mat there. And then, yeah, let's go to the other leg actually. Got a little distracted there. Now switch legs, left foot back, and then meeting that right elbow. Amazing. This one definitely challenges my balance, that's for sure. So, full transparency, I forgot to switch our legs at the 25-second mark there. So we're doing 50 seconds on each leg here. If you need to stop and rest, please rest. It's all good. That's my bad. Just getting a little extra burn in those glutes today. All right, time to rest. Next workout is going to be alternating reverse lunges. Getting started now. All right, so you can either keep, your hands at your sides here and bring them up like this, kind of like pendulum, or you can keep your hands clasped, whatever feels better. Again, keep that upper body, torso, nice and upright as much as you can. Shoulders back. And just lunge back as far as is comfortable for you. It's going to look a little bit different for each person. 8 seconds left. 2, 1, and rest. All right, our last workout in this set are the alternating squat crunches. And then we'll have 2 more sets of all those exercises. All right, get in squat stance. Hands by your ears, squat down. Left knee to right elbow. Squat down, right knee to left elbow, and so on and so forth. Again, it's a good one for balance, core stability, and glute work. If you're feeling a little shaky on that supporting foot, take your time. Do not rush this. Great job. Three seconds left. 2, 1. All right, quick rest here. And then we're gonna go back into those alternating lunge crunches. Okay, so I'm gonna remember the 25 seconds here, each leg. So right foot back into a lunge and then crunch. Actually, you don't have to fully lunge down there. Just keep light on that foot there. Right knee to left elbow. Crunching to meet the elbow to the knee. All right, switch legs. Left foot back, light on the feet there. Don't have to do a full lunge. If you want to make this more challenging, you absolutely can. The way I'm doing it is just kind of having it at the top of a lunge. Awesome. All right, quick rest. And then we're going into the alternating reverse lunges. Okay, bring that right foot or left foot back, lunge back, and stand back up, switch legs. Keep that torso nice and upright. How you guys feeling? Are you feeling the burn yet? I know I am. But it feels good. You don't want to feel completely obliterated, at least I don't. So if you are starting to feel that way, again, take a rest, drop the weights maybe if you are holding weights. Listen to your body. All right. Now moving on to alternating squat crunches. Get into that squat stance. Hands by the ears. Squat back. Knee to elbow. Squat down. Other knee to elbow. Remember that proper squat form. It's a great way to break up the workday, just getting a nice workout in, feeling energized. All right. Whew. One more set of each of those. And then we're going to get a nice long rest while I demonstrate the final 3 exercises of the final block All right, into those alternating lunge crunches. Start with that right foot back, light on the feet, and then crunch to the opposite elbow, to that left elbow there. Just 25 seconds on each side. And you don't have to go the exact same speed I'm going. I'd rather you actually not look directly at me while you're doing this if you already know, you're confident with the exercise, because I'd rather you be paying attention to how it feels in your own body. I know sometimes when we're gonna switch legs now. When I'm in like a yoga class, I look at the instructor and I desperately wanna have the perfect form and look just like they do in the class, but then I'll strain myself trying to, do the move perfectly. And then, I might pull a muscle and then I'm out of commission. So, it's not worth it. It's better to listen to your own body. All right, rest. We're gonna have a little extended rest here for just a moment. Grab some water. All right, just 2 more exercises in this circuit. Going into the alternating reverse lunges. My timer is freaking out here. There we go. Alternating reverse lunges. Okay, actually, I guess you can have your hands by your head there. I don't really know why I just did that. I'm going back to the other exercise, but that is a variation that you could do. You can have your arms up here. Actually, we'll make it a little bit more challenging because it'll bring your heart rate up. Or you could keep your arms by your side here. And rest. Ah, great work. As I tell myself. Positive self-affirmations, right, guys? Okay, we're gonna go into that last exercise of the circuit. Alternating squat crunches. Squat down, opposite knee to opposite elbow. I love these kind of combination movements, like combining a squat with a crunch. Such a good way to get more of a total body workout in. And there are movements that you can do that incorporate the upper body as well. I have a total body strength class in person in Bedford on Mondays. And we incorporate some of those combo moves. So if that's something you want to try out and you're in Bedford, please stop on by on Mondays. All right. Awesome work. We're now going to go through the final workouts of this class. My timer isn't cooperating, oh well. So let me demonstrate these workouts for you. So 3 movements again. First, weighted squats. Again, weights are optional, but what I'm gonna do is have 2 dumbbells and I'm gonna have them rocked up here on my shoulders, okay? So do a bit of a neutral grip bicep curl to get them into place. And then move your hands so that your palms are facing the back of the room. Kind of rest the weights here, okay? And then you're going to have your feet hip width apart and then squat back, okay? Let me see this from the side. It's the same squat form that I've gone over before, keeping that chest upright. Okay, next exercise is a plank. All right, so we're gonna get down on the mat and get on a forearm plank here. All right, so fully engaging your body in this stance here. Your spine is straight and neutral. Neck isn't like hanging down here or looking up, it's right neutral there. And then if you want to make this harder, you can alternate lifting your leg like this with toes pointing down, and that's gonna engage those glutes even more. And during the plank, if you need a rest, you can just bring your knees down. All right? All right, and then the last movement in this block is glute bridges. It's actually staying down on the mat here. On your back, you're going to lay on your back with your feet on the ground, knees pointing up to the sky. And your feet are just kind of behind, you know, maybe like a step away from your behind here. So if you bring your feet all the way in near your bottom of your tush and then step them out, they'll be in the right spot. Then you're going to squeeze your glutes up towards the sky, engage those glutes, and then bring them down. Squeeze for about a second or two, and then bring them down. Okay. I'm gonna do a quick time check here. All right. We're doing good. So we're gonna move on to this last circuit now. Let me just reset this timer. Okay. All righty, starting with the weighted squats. Grab those weights, shoulders back, weights at your side, feet hip distance apart, toes pointing slightly out, and then, oh, actually, sorry, bring those weights up here towards your chest, see? And then squat back. Squeeze those glutes just a little bit at the top. Great job. Sink the weight back into your heels. So you're pulling your weight towards the back of the room, okay? As opposed to leaning forward. All right, drop those weights. Slowly make your way down to the mat into a plank. All right. On the forearms. So your elbows should be just under your shoulder blades, your shoulders, I should say. You're on your tippy toes here. You feel your abs squeezing in and upwards. Feel your glutes squeezed as well. Keeping the spine neutral. You can take a rest on your knees if you'd like. And then if you want to make it extra challenging, do those alternating leg lifts. But if that's too much and you're feeling that in your lower back, definitely don't do those. Great work. All right, we're gonna make our way to our backs for those glute bridges. All right, scooch down here. So you're gonna have your feet just a little bit further towards the opposite wall from you, when you're facing, I should say. Your feet like a step forward towards that direction away from your behind. You're pushing your hips up towards the sky, squeezing the glutes at the top. If you want to make this harder, you can do this on one leg and alternate. But I'm just going to do the standard version myself. Really engaging these glutes. All right, and rest. We only have 2 more sets of each exercise, and then we're going to have a great cool down. All right. So now where are we moving into? We're moving into weighted squats. Pick up those dumbbells if you would like to use weights. Bring them up to your shoulders here. Get to that squat stance. Squat on back. Remember to breathe again, keep that breath flowing. Maybe even sync it up with those movements. All right, drop those weights. We're gonna head on down to our plank. All right, onto our forearms. Body a straight line, like an arrow. Okay, so our butt isn't up in the air like this. Bring it down until you feel it really engage. Also don't want your neck to hang down like this or arch forward. You want it to be more of a straight line. Again, if you want an extra challenge, just alternate those legs, squeezing up towards the ceiling. Just 8 more seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Into these glute bridges. Scooch on down again. All right. You could also just hold this glute bridge at the top for the full 50 seconds. Or do little pulses. Or you can just bring your hips down and up towards the ceiling. Totally up to you. Any of those variations are going to target your glutes. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, guys. We got 1 more set of each. We're going back into those weighted squats, picking up those dumbbells. Bringing those weights up by the shoulders and then squatting back. Squeezing those glutes a little bit at the top. A squat is actually a core exercise as well. It does not just work the legs and the glutes, because your abs and those back muscles need to engage in order to keep you upright support your body as you move down, as you squat down. So this really is an excellent exercise. I'm sure everyone's familiar with squats. All right. No more squats in this workout, guys. Amazing work. Head back down into that plank. All right, back on those forearms, 50 seconds. I know you can do it. You know, even if you put your knees down, you're still engaging your core a bit here. Or if you do one leg down, one leg in the plank stance. So that's always an option if you need to take a quick breather. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Woo! On to the last exercise. Woohoo! Hope you guys are feeling energized, rejuvenated, feeling proud of yourselves. All right, back into those glute bridges. You know what? I think for this last round, I'm just going to hold at the top. But if you prefer, you can keep bringing the hips down and up. So be sure not to hyperextend in this movement. So you don't want to like really bring your hips too far up where you start to feel it too much in your lower back or your knees. Just so you feel those glutes engage and it feels, you know, comfortable. It's not pinching anything. And done. Woohoo! Did it, guys. Workout done. We're gonna just do a cool down now. I'm just checking the time. Perfect. Okay. So starting off, what we're gonna do is bring our arms up towards the sky, overhead, and then dive down, forward folds. Let it all kind of release here. If you want, you can sway gently side to side. Then you're going to roll up one vertebrae at a time, back to standing. Bring those arms overhead again, and forward fold once again. Perfect. Stand up. Let's grab one of your feet into one of your hands here behind your back. Hands behind your back, I guess. And get a nice glute stretch, okay? So standing nice and tall, feeling the stretch in the quads, I should say, a nice quad stretch right in the front here. And then switch legs. And if you would like, you can use your other hand to hold against the wall or support yourself against something. Or if you want to challenge your balance, you can put the opposite hand up. All right, now we're going to go down to the mat and stretch our glutes out and our abs. So starting on our backs, you're going to go into a figure 4. So your right leg, bring it over to rest on your left knee. So your right foot is resting on your left knee. So it should look like the number 4. And then you're going to pull your left leg towards you very gently. Okay, and you should feel that stretch in your right glute. So don't pull too hard, just so you feel a nice deep stretch. I'll just hold this for a bit. Focusing on the breath, maybe slowing the breath down. And then switch legs. All right, last stretch we're going to do is just a cat-cow to stretch out our abs and our core. So you're going to be in tabletop position. So your knees should be tracking right under your hip bones, your hands right under your shoulders, starting with that neutral spine, so flat back. And then you're going to dip the belly down towards the floor as you look up towards the sky. And then you're going to curve your stomach in as your spine reaches towards the ceiling and your neck is down. You're looking at the floor. And then we're going to just cycle through those. Syncing up with your breath. Let's do 2 more rounds. All right, that is all. I think I might have run over a little bit on time here, so my apologies. Work on that for next time. But thank you for working out with me, and I hope you all have a lovely rest of your Tuesday. Bye.